Ed eccoci qua ragazzi, siamo tornati su Little Orpheus, la seconda parte. Saluto YouTube ragazzi, iscrivetevi al canale, inizia a seguirmi su Twitch, Demiz-78 su Twitch ragazzi. E basta, adesso continuiamo, adesso iniziamo fra un po'. Adesso devo vedere alcune cose, poi iniziamo. Speriamo che l'audio funzioni. Ok. Gran carriera qua subito. Gran gioco ragazzi, mi ricordo. Barba non l'abbiamo fatta oggi. Mi ricordo che è un gran gioco. È pazzesco anche così, a caso. Saluto il mio amico che non vuole far palesarsi. Un saluto. Che non si palesa. Ma lo vedo lo stesso. Pronti per il viaggio al centro della Terra. Sì, 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 sì. Che giocatore però. Che giocatore. Che giocatore. Cosa mettiamo qua? Questo qua bisogna girare un po', ragazzi, perché mi mette le palle. Siamo su una botte di ferro, ragazzi, ve lo dico, Questo gioco è nella botte di ferro. Siamo pronti per iniziare allora? C'è un po' troppa luce forse, no? Va bene così. Movimenti, siamo a posto. Posso muovermi così, posso fare così. Così. Posso scaldarmi un po'. Barba ce l'ho. Quindi. Fammi fare un po' di pappato, poi diciamo, dai. Vai. Allora, se volete sapere quanto ho pagato questo gioco, ragazzi, non ve lo dico. Però l'ho pagato. Quindi supportate il canale, maledetti. Cioè, nel senso, ho pagato poco, ma l'ho pagato. Non l'ho craccato, voglio dire, l'ho pagato. Pagato. Su PlayStation non puoi craccare i giochi, ragazzi. Cioè. Chi paga, paga, Tanto sentite rumori di animali strani, dinosauri, robe così. Quindi avevamo fatto i primi 4 capitoli, ricordo per chi non c'era, cioè non c'era nessuno, quindi ricordo per tutti. Abbiamo fatto i primi 4 capitoli, adesso andiamo avanti, dovrebbero essere 9 capitoli più gli extra, vediamo un po'. Iniziamo, dai, vai. Continua, impostazioni. Continua. No, aspetta un attimo. Sì, forse qua è giusto, no? Ma qua io avevo già fatto qua, raga. O no? Aspetta un attimo, Ah, no, no. Forse no. Ho già visto questa scena, però, raga.
Will our courageous yet unfortunate hero drown in the depths of an inhospitable frozen sea?
Vabbè, questa scena l'avevo già vista.
In time to prevent Toll from detonating the bomb. Will the general holiday in Omsk next year? Or Tomsk? Or perhaps both? What exactly is the difference between a mammoth and a hairy elephant? All of these questions and more should almost certainly be answered in the next exciting episode of Little Orpheus!
Ok. Quindi, episodio 5, sotto le acque di Moliobka. Vai.
I thought I was doomed. But a miraculous thing happened, General. I could breathe. It must have been the helmet that was jammed onto my head. It was a strange and remarkable thing.
Some might almost say beyond belief.
A narrow-minded fool may indeed, General. But of course, you are no Durak. But even as I sank towards the floor of that lost ocean, my journey was about to take me to darker, stranger territory than ever before. And it happened like this.
Ok ragazzi, quinto episodio, vai. Cerchiamo sta bomba atomica, Vai. Siamo sott'acqua ragazzi, Mi nuoto bene però.
Let me see if I have this correctly. After narrowly failing to apprehend the mad missing explorer Toll and recapture my atomic bomb in your giant snowball, you fell through thin ice and sank to the bottom of a subterranean ocean, discovering along the way that the mind control helmet you had accidentally wedged onto your head enabled you to breathe underwater and resume your pursuit across the seabed.
Grazie al mito, ragazzi. Possiamo respirare grazie al metto che abbiamo in testa. Vabbè. Ecco oh, mi sa che vado di muoio, Quindi saltiamo di gran carriera. Oh, Oh, vedi?
General, you seem perplexed.
Perplexed? Perplexed is that the keys to my house are not where I left them. Perplexed is the fact my dog will not eat cheese like other dogs. No, Ivan Ivanovich, I am not perplexed.
Ivan Ivanovic. Dove devo andare, ragazzi? Ma cosa mi dice che devo fare così?
Intrigued then, perhaps?
I'm not sure intrigued is the correct term either. Enraged at being taken for a simpleton. Now that, perhaps, is a better way of describing my current state of mind.
Sì, in effetti, un po' idiota riusciamo. Pure io, Ci sono i cavallucci marini, ragazzi, che bellezza. Chi è?
That is unfortunate, General.
Once again, Comrade Privalov, I must correct you. Unfortunate is losing one's car in a snowstorm. Unfortunate is booking opera tickets on your wife's birthday and getting the date wrong.
Oh, was she furious?
That is not the issue! Furious. However, now that is a good word.
I could speak with your wife. Would that help? I could always have a word with her if you like.
I could always have you shot.
Ci vuole fucilare, generale.
But I suspect she would appreciate the gesture less.
Che è successo, Oh, merda. Beh, bello però, no? C'era bisogno, no. E ora? Wow! Ah, è una grafica carina comunque, Ho visto di peggio. Vabbè. Andiamo avanti, raga. Non so che dirvi.
A vast monster of the sea. A giant, humongous, many-armed electrical destroyer of ships and cities.
Roberto Benigni.
Electricity flowed along its horrible body, sparking and stunning all it touched, flowing like deadly rivers along its awful tentacles.
Roberto Benigni un po', O no? Quindi... Vedi come urla. Un Kraken, ma era un Kraken, a noi non sembrava un Kraken, però vediamo che succede, ragazzi. Oh, wow,
A sobering discovery. Are you suggesting that the vessel simply wandered off course and sank here? That seems unlikely, even by your standards.
No, General, I only wish that were true. The mighty ship showed terrible scars, signs of having been grappled and torn asunder by some huge and terrible adversary.
That is indeed strange and curious. I'm troubled by this discovery.
Might you almost be perplexed, perhaps?
Don't push your luck.
Oh, wow, che bellezza, ragazzi, Ma che bellezza è sto gioco, ragazzi. Gran gioco. No, con la luce toglie i peccati del mondo, eh. Non ho capito comunque tanto bene, ragazzi. Sono quelle alghe rosse che non possiamo darci sopra. In qualche modo faremo, per interagire. C'è un ostrico dentro, ragazzi. Attenzione, attenzione, raga. Ma non ce la faccio, raga. A superare. Minchia, ce l'ho fatta per. Ah, no, ragazzi, non è facile, come sembra. Oh! Sono stato bravo? Sì.
I was stationed at Sydney Ostrif some years ago. I am only too aware of how easy it is for the imagination to create monsters when one is exposed to lonely and dark places. My men required constant monitoring.
Much like my cousin Pavel.
He was also stationed
Pavel.
at Ostrov?
No, he required constant monitoring. He was a devil
Che
for
Pavel
stealing
Nedved.
eggs.
Suo cugino si chiama Pavel, ragazzi. Pavel Nedved, eh. Beve un po'. Non sempre, ma un po' beve. Non succede niente. Andiamo avanti. Cosa succederà? Oh, ma qua abbiamo soldi. Tesoro nascosto. Ragazzi. Tesoro nascosto. Dove va?
I was referring to the fear that
non
something
posso
is
guardare,
lurking
non.
in the darkness. Something strange, brutish, and ill-intentioned.
Again, that sounds much like my cousin
Cugino
Pavel.
Pavel. Tuo cugino Pavel è Shayung. Non posso fare niente qua. Ah, devo fare gioco Gioè. E dai, su, su, su. Ah, quindi da qua salto in là. Ah. No, 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 no. Non lo sapevo che dovevo andare di qua, raga. Che ne sai? Sono proprio un Pavel Nedved. Sì, 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 Ecco Giambi, ciao Giambo. Ah, oggi è il compleanno di Serena. Ah, porca voglia, mi sono dimenticato. E allora l'avete festeggiata? Ma lei è lì con te? No. No, perché oggi non è. Posso mandare un messaggio se vuoi. Col cellulare, però è un po' tardi adesso, non so. Sono quasi le 9. Non vorrei disturbare. Mando un messaggio. Mi scrivo auguri, buon compleanno. O è troppo tardi, cosa dici? Chiedo a te. Perché? Chi devo chiedercelo? Ecco, vedi? Perché, scusa, mi sono dimenticato. Sono andato a casa sua un po' oggi. Ah, ecco. Cosa gli hai regalato allora? Mi faccio. Cosa gli hai regalato? Dunque... Serena. Nike Air Force One. Minchia, addirittura... Quanti anni ha? 13. Un attimo, 13 anni, ragazzi, quanta roba. Vabbè. Insomma, scarpa ginnastica della Nike ora, porca miseria. Toste, purtroppo non posso ancora mettere tutto. Allora, andiamo avanti. È troppo difficile. Ne ho messi uno, non ancora, ma 5 è difficile ricordarsi. Allora, vediamo un po'. Avete capito che aiuto? Ah, aspetta, non l'avevo letto. Aiuto. No, non ho capito. Comunque va bene, dai. Ma quando? Quando devo fare? Devo venire? Non ho capito cosa, però... va bene. Dimmi solo... quando ci vediamo. No, devi fare il trasloco un'altra volta? No, No, la lavatrice, no, Ah no, si è rotto un'altra volta. No, la cosa, la lavastoviglie. Abbiamo già fatto. Abbiamo già fatto. Dobbiamo dare al coso, come si dice? A portare via la roba là vicino alle piscine, le robe là. Vicino alla piscina. Come si chiama? Ferro vecchio, Dobbiamo andare a scaricare qualcosa. Capito, però almeno potevi farmi capire cosa intendo. No, come peggio. Devi fare trasloco un'altra volta, no? Dove cazzo devi andare? Figlio? Un'altra volta via da lì. Si è rotta la lavatrice? La cosa, la lavastoviglie, Ma dimmi solo se era la lavastoviglie, da mettere a posto, per fare qualcosa. Aspetta che mi scaldo. È quello. Dimmi sì o no se è quello. Lavastoviglie. Non c'è. Lavastoviglie. Peggio. Dio cagano. Beh, dobbiamo andare in tanta figa a Vicenza, devi comprare qualcosa, non so. Il divano. Il divano, hai comprato un altro divano. Serve il tuo aiuto. Prima del trasloco. Prima del trasloco. Beh, siccome ne abbiamo fatti tanti trasgiochi. Cioè, prima di quale trasgioco? Casa tua o casa della Gloria? Cioè, nel senso... abbiamo fatto più di un trasgioco. Prima del trasgioco... Allora... Primo di tutti. Che non ricordo mica, non mi ricordo, brother. Adesso non mi viene mica in mente. Poi dimmi un accenno, qualcosa, giusto un accenno che non capisce nessuno. La mattina di giugno. Giugno compie gli anni, tu. Boh, non mi ricordo mica. Peggio. Dove devo andare, Giabi? Dobbiamo andare a cosa, là, dobbiamo andare a Magre, o a Magre o dietro le piscine, no? Giusto? A scaricare qualcosa. Cazzo si chiama il posto? Scarico. Lo devi scaricare. A Malta. Mattina di giugno. Facevamo. Bisogna di tre occhi, non c'è niente. A camminare, tu dici? Andare a camminare. Ma scusa, cos'è il mio aiuto? Quale sarebbe? Ma quale sarebbe il mio aiuto, scusa? Quale sarebbe il mio aiuto, scusa? Che aiuto devo darti? A camminare, mio caro. Cioè... Che aiuto è? Sei pazzo. Stimolo. Io che mi chiedi tanto però, Chiedi un po' troppo stavolta, Ma quando è vero? Quando andiamo? Ma io ti seguo col motorino, dai. Senti che musica, oh. Guarda come scatto veloce, però. Stare assieme. Sì, ho capito. Non è facile però,
I was being hunted. There was no doubt about it. And escape was all I could think about.
Naturally.
That and duty.
Duty?
Yes, General. After all, I had a bomb to recover from that villain Toll.
How clever of you to remember that.
wow. Bisogna andare a camminare insieme, ti ho detto. Saresti un po' grasso in realtà, quello sì. Saresti un po' grassottello, Giambi. Vedi. Saresti un po' grassottello. Se sbaglio qua, Dio, Oddio. Un po' grassettello. Allora, quindi quando vuoi fare allora? Dio cara, è pericoloso a camminare a quest'ora, buio. È un capidoglio quello, ragazzi. La balena, dimmi che è la balena dell'altra volta. Può essere la balena anche, Vado? Wow! Cicci! Madonna ragazzi, che maestria nei movimenti. Sì, uno deve andare a camminare. Beh, io sto camminando anche qua, sott'acqua. Vai.
But first, there was the issue of escape. Escape from a dreadful, grasping creature that consumed all it could reach, dragging anything that wandered within its clutches to a miserable doom. A hoarder of useless trophies and stolen goods.
Once again, Tavares, I suspect you are pursuing a somewhat tortuous metaphor for capitalism, in the misguided hope of appealing to my political ideals.
Madonna, ragazzi. Wow. Attenzione, raga. Guarda che bravo che sono in questo gioco. Asciugatrice. L'asciugatrice è pericolosa. successo?
I was like a mouse, General. A little mouse being toyed with by a terrible cat.
A rather wet mouse.
I was like a little underwater mouse.
Being stalked by a giant rubbery electrical cat with 8 tentacles.
Exactly, General.
Good, I'm glad we cleared that up. You may continue.
Ok, va bene, già bene. Raga, qua come faccio? Oh, Madonna, ragazzi. Che maestria nei movimenti. Che maestria, ragazzi. Allora, saliamo su. Apriamo questa ostrica. Ma ragazzi, così no. Così no. Ho capito. Non ce la faccio arrivare là, raga. Forse devo... Non ci arrivo là. Ma come faccio, raga? Ho capito. Dobbiamo appoggiarci di un attimo, che voglio vedere cosa succede se mi appoggio qua. Ah no, devo per forza... Minchia, raga, non è facile. Non è affatto facile. Ciao raga. Chi c'è?
Submarines. You didn't mention submarines before.
Didn't I? Why? No, non verne, General. Of course, submarines. Millions of them. Several, at least.
Yellow submarine.
Any particular submarines? Did you see names, numbers?
General, have you lost a submarine?
I am not at liberty to answer that question, as you well know.
Well, General, losing one's car in a snowstorm is unfortunate, as you say. But to lose a whole submarine, that could be considered careless.
Vai Ivan, va avanti. Yellow submarine. Oh, che bellezza. Ma che bellezza, ragazzi.
And you are certain it was M256?
Well, that was painted on the hull, so I can only assume so.
I think I know where this dismal story is going next. You somehow miraculously brought the remaining closed cycle engine online, flooded the torpedo tubes, dispatched the Kraken with one shot, and triumphantly surfaced.
No, General. That is not what
Che
I did at
Benigni
all.
però.
I did indeed make my way to the torpedo tubes, but for a very
Sembra un po'
different
Roberto Benigni,
purpose.
no?
After all, history has taught us that atomic power is not to be toyed with.
Much like tired, impatient generals, perhaps. Particularly the perplexed ones.
Indeed, General. Or like dogs that will eat no cheese.
Vai. Vieni qua. Oh cazzo. Ciccia. Guarda, palpa. Che Kraken però. C'è un Kraken che mi corre dietro, raga, GG. No. Che Kraken. Corre Kraken. Mi corro bene. No, corri. C'è Kraken. Minchia, la Snake proprio.
Will our determined yet disorientated hero end his days as socialist sushi? Will his daring exploits be cut tragically short by vengeful calamari? Will the general's wife ever forgive him for missing Ruslan and Lyudmila? And just how many eggs did Pavel steal, and where did he keep them? All
Vai,
of these
Pavel!
questions and more may or may not be answered in the next exciting episode of Little Orpheus!
E abbiamo finito anche il quinto episodio, ragazzi. Abbiamo fatto un cazzo, comunque, vabbè. Mi sta piacendo, ragazzi, questo gioco. Molto bello, eh? Sì o no? È l'unico al mondo che porta questi giochi, ragazzi. Ci sarà un motivo. Non è un caso. Vabbè, andiamo a fare il sesto episodio, ragazzi. Verso il... Sì, ho capito, c'è la modalità. Ho capito. Verso le mura... No, verso Lemuria e oltre. Lemuria. Vai. Episodio 6. Eccoci.
I was alive, General. Somehow, miraculously, I was
Ero
alive.
vivo.
Some
Che
twist of
succede?
fate, some hand of destiny, but I was alive. Strange as this new world was, I knew Toll must have come this way, and it was my task to find him. And it happened like this.
Non posso. Verso Lemuria e oltre.
The sun beat down on me relentlessly. The heat was unbearable. I was exhausted. Yet I could not stop. I had to go on. For 7 weeks I trudged across the desert. On the second day...
Please, comrade, if we may. I think we can skip the details, unless you consider them to be particularly relevant to the location of Little Orpheus.
Of course, General. We will simply omit the tale of the singing chasm, the oasis of mirrors, the sightings of Tol's Mienk aloft on their pterodactyls carrying parts of my crashed rocket drill over the horizon to Lemuria.
Wait, the what?
Singing chasm?
Not that, but the rocket drill.
Oh yes, General, the rocket drill. But what did Tol want with it? And why Lemuria?
Lemuria?
Lemuria, General.
I am not familiar with this Lemuria, comrade.
Well, that is because it does not exist, General. Or at least, so I thought.
Che sono possedito dall'acqua al deserto? No, raga. Ah, sono morto. Ivan, dai. Non posso saltare, non posso fare niente, raga. Vabbè, andiamo avanti e vediamo che succede, ragazzi. Oh, castello di sabbia. Oh, Aladino. La campana. Anche qua. La campana. Che cazzo. Finiamo la campana, ragazzi. Poi. Ah, vedi, c'è sempre qualcosa di magico nel deserto. Sapevo io che c'era qualcosa di magico. E quindi... Vai, Ivan Ivanovic. Non sarà affatto facile qua, eh. Sì, ho capito, però... Wow! Madonna che maestria nei movimenti, ragazzi.
Strange crystals seem to exert an extraordinary hold over the stone blocks and arches. When they hummed, the whole city remade itself. Whereas they were missing, clearly looted by some villainous thief, the city was fallen to ruin. It was like a vast musical instrument, vandalized, and yet still attempting to toot.
Tutto molto bello, devo dire, eh.
How poetic. I'm sure our engineers would be fascinated and baffled in equal measure. If the whole department hadn't been arrested for sedition last week, I would happily convey it to their skeptical ears.
Sedition, General? Really? That is unfortunate news indeed.
I am joking, comrade.
Sono morto, ragazzi.
How poetic. I'm sure our engineers would be fascinated and baffled in equal measure. If the whole department hadn't been arrested for sedition last week, I would happily convey it to their skeptical ears.
Sedition, General? Really?
Ah, nel tempo, tipo.
That is unfortunate news indeed.
I am joking, comrade.
Corri, Forest. Wow. Sì, sì. Beh, interessante, no? No, ragazzi. Oh. No, non l'ho vista. Non l'ho detto, non l'ho vista. Wow! Oh, me l'ho schivato, raga. Attenzione. Tutto molto semplice. Tutto abbastanza semplice, ma... Ci sono ancora quelli lì, guarda, un po' di coglioni.
Oh yes, the Mank for here, all right. Which meant whatever dastardly scheme Toll had, it was to be enacted on these burning sands.
And you will explain this in due course, I imagine.
Imminently, General. What you need to know first is this. I have told you already how parts of the devices the enslaved Mienk were forced to wear came from the surface.
Radio parts and so on, yes, from what you have told me. Assuming there were plenty of lost ships in the ocean as you claim, for Toll to have dredged up what he needed to assemble them.
Aha, good. You are one step ahead of me, General.
I said assuming.
Of course, assuming. Now, as I gazed in awe at the buildings rising and falling around me, I realized that the other major component of those mind-controlling helmets was crystal. Toll had raided Lemuria for them. He knew the city. He knew the crystals could amplify vibrations and waves, and was using them to boost the signal of the radio parts to exert his control over the Memph. Which meant...
Minchia. Easy, brother. Minchia. Easy, brother. Easy, man. Wow.
Yes? Imagine, General, what such amplification could achieve when fused to the finest atomic science our great Soviet civilization has produced.
Però c'è qualcosa che non mi convince.
Wait! I do not understand. You said Toll was planning on using the bomb to shatter the Earth's crust to return to the surface.
A tragic mistake, General. They have not recognized the extent of his mad ambitions.
You mean to imply Toll would have attempted to enslave the Russian people? Pah! The will of the Soviet citizen is mighty and strong.
To you, perhaps, as a trained
continua a parlare, ne
but
finito.
consider, perhaps instead, a humble son of a toy maker from
l'avvocato.
Ah, yes. Perhaps we have our share of symbols, after all.
Rompere non l'ho visto, Beh. Devo portare indietro. Ok, brother. Sopra non ci vede, dai. Easy, man. C'era bisogno.
The vast pictograms told of a history of wonders. They seem to suggest the Lemurians were travelers from another world, where a mysterious clock seemed to stand.
That is very mysterious. As mysterious as the location of little Orpheus, perhaps.
Yes, of course, General. I am just getting to that.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Vabbè. Oh, wow. Sì, sì. No, che maestria. Poesia in movimento.
As I bravely explored that ancient city, a question was gnawing at my mind. What did it mean that the Lemurians had foreseen the coming of Tol? And who was the man from above that was celebrated as the savior of the Miengf? It was almost as if they could read the future in their crystals.
Non lo so, ragazzi, non lo so.
The bells of Lemuria tolled and tolled, a roaring symphony, a crescendo of peals that set the city dancing, each note causing the crystals to shimmer and cascade with light. But the sandstorm was no natural phenomenon, and the bells did not ring for celebration. Something was very wrong here.
Aside from the pterodactyls and the Miengf and the dancing stones and the ancient magical prophecies and the crystals and now the giant bells, you mean?
If you don't want me to continue, General, then I can easily just quietly go home.
Don't think Chepucho will get you out of this one, comrade.
Boh, non so che cazzo succede qua, ragazzi, vediamo un po'. Il pterodattilo ci insegue, ragazzi, è pazzesco, è pericoloso. Eccolo. X. Ciao ciao. Poesia in movimento. Eccolo. Vai, Praro. Quadrato. Sì, sì, no, no. Non mi pigli, brother. No, 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 no. Eccolo. Cerchio. Non mi pigli, no, 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 no. Senti come ride. Ah! Non c'è qua, ragazzi. La campana. Penso che abbiamo un problema, ragazzi. Corre! Corre! Sì, come cazzo faccio? Ah, devo passare di sotto. Mica difficile, però. Non è fatto facile, Giambi, Corri, foresta! Mica difficile, però. Devo passare di sotto, secondo me non mica... Senti, andiamo. Ma non va! Io basta che mi abbasso, in teoria. Forse basta che mi abbasso, Al più bello scivolata, però. Ma vabbè. Corre! Ma non sta giù, non sta giù. Aspetta, vediamo un po'. Capito che sono scemi, però. Corri, foresta! Sci. Abbassa così. Ah no, vedi, non... Ci vuole per forza la scivolata, raga, non c'è altro modo. Ma non ce la fai, raga, come fai? Cosa devo fare, raga? Non capisco. Mi devo saltargli dentro, non lo so. No? Ma io come faccio, scusa? Come faccio? Non capisco, ragazzi. Forse qua no. Non capisco, ragazzi, come fare, Ma cos'è che ha fatto? Ma non ce la fai, raga, cosa devo fare? Raga, non è che c'è tanta scelta, cioè... O io monto dentro, ma... capisco, ragazzi, Oh, raga, boh, non lo so, cazzo, che devo fare? Cazzo.
I raced through those magical structures, a righteous fire in my heart. I was like the Brinya Nikit, prepared to strike at the dragon who threatened my homeland.
Your heroism is only surpassed by your modesty.
On the contrary, General, I chose the Brinya carefully. Like him, I am a simple peasant. It was fate that chose me to descend to the Earth's core.
It was General Kumanya who chose you to descend to the Earth's core. But don't let that get in the way of your story.
Oh, well then, award General Polkovnik Kamanin the highest medal in the world.
He already has several of those.
I cannot take credit for his wisdom in sending me.
Raggiungere il centro delle terre, ragazzi, attenzione, le campane. Wow! Oh! Yeah! Oh! Madonna, che maestria! Oh, che maestria nei movimenti! Ce la farà il nostro eroe arrivare al centro della terra? Shishi boom 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 shishi boom boom shishi
It was once a rocket ship built to burrow into the earth, was now a mighty vessel, repurposed to blast off into the skies.
Corri. Ce la possiamo fare. Ah, vedi. Ma ragazzi, che maestria. Che maestria. Oh oh. Ma la maestria.
There was no doubt the toll was headed for the strange world with its clock. Although to what end?
Toll.
But there was no time to consider. No time for questions.
Continuo spazio temporale, ragazzi, Sono quasi arrivato al continuo spazio temporale. Oh, che maestria! No, ho sbagliato! È finita! Ho capito, però non era facile. Shi boom 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 boom. Ho capito, però continuo spazio temporale mi aspetta, ragazzi, oh.
Paul was on the rocket. Little Orpheus was on the rocket. And
Vai,
wherever
vai.
they were headed, I must head there too, to thwart his plans, recover my drill, and save the world!
Salva il mondo, vai. Ce la farà il nostro eroe a salvare il mondo, ragazzi. Guardalo, guardalo. Ivan.
Will our enthusiastic yet disorientated hero be burnt to a cinder by the rocket's engines? Will he be smashed into the rock that surely must be beyond the Lemurian skies? Does Nikolai Petrovich Kamanian really need any more medals? What was the strange clock, and what could it all mean? All of these questions, and more, will be answered if you're extremely
Beyonce.
in the next exciting episode of Little Orpheus!
È bello, sembra. Questo gioco qua sembra un po' i Star Trek. La prima generazione di Star Trek. Quella di Kirk. Sembra un po', no? Stile è quello, Ti sta piacendo, Giambi? Di la verità. Un attimo, Giambo. Minchia. GG. Allora, ragazzi, andiamo avanti. Quanti era? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Questo è l'episodio 7, ragazzi. Metagalacticus Interiorus. Madonna, ragazzi, ma questo qua è proprio un episodio pazzesco, ve lo dico già, eh. Sì, 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 boom, 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 boom. Vai. Roberto, hai vinto. Chi è? Chi è? Il cane. Laika.
Laika!
Chi è Laika?
Stark raving mad.
It was Laika. I am sure of it. That
Mica Laika, il
stupid
primo
little
cane.
dog saved me.
Laika saved you in her little space machine.
I believe the correct term is capsule, General.
Don't push your luck any further, Ivan Ivanovich. I fear it might snap.
Oh, my apologies, General. In my
Che
excitement to
Laika,
explain what I
però.
discovered on the far side of the Metagalacticus Interiorus, I got carried away. And it happened like this.
Che Laika è stato il primo cane. Laika è il primo cane lanciato nello spazio, eh. Nome Laika. E lei? C'è Laika. Pum, pum, pum. Vai, settimo episodio.
A rocky moon. It's the center of the earth.
The source of all creation, General. A place where time flowed like rivers, and boulders of raw matter rained like comets upon the cratered rock.
Another miraculous escape from death. Another happy accident.
It was no accident, General. Laika took me there entirely deliberately. I'm sure of that. She continues to be a heroine and a savior and protector of our great nation.
Ciao Laika. Ciao ciao. Salute e prosperità.
Laika died in orbit.
No, General, she did not. She's very much alive and happy, and currently living several miles below our feet.
Laika is dead, Ivan.
She most certainly is not, General.
This is the real world, Tovarish. A world where you did not go to the center of the earth, and Laika died in orbit.
In my world, General, Laika is still alive.
A better world, some may argue. Very well. I will live in your world for a while longer, but time is running out.
Ah, yes, time, General. I was just coming to that.
Ecco ragazzi, purtroppo siamo in grande stato. Quindi qua c'è la gravità, eh. Non è come in acqua, però siamo sulla Luna, al centro della Terra sulla Luna. Cioè, vabbè.
There in the distance it stood, enveloped in a mighty time storm. The world clock, General. The beating heart of all history. The axis mundi, the pillar of the world.
Not enough to conquer Russia by drilling back to the surface with his magical mind-controlling atomic radio set, then.
No, General. You see, what if he could fuse little Orpheus directly with the world clock? Then his message would radiate with every tick and every tock. He would not simply be the Tsar. He would be the Tsar of all time, the eternal tyrant, the literal incarnation of everything our glorious revolution stood to overthrow.
Ma che cazzo? Lo zar. Oh, vedo.
Sonikiv!
Uncanny, General. But it was somehow different. I felt no cold. The waves were motionless. Indeed, it was as if I had stepped free of those rivers of time and stood on entirely motionless ground. And there in the distance,
What?
debris from Sarya and tall slave mines had washed up here, almost as if I were meant to find it. And there, amongst it, the winking of steel led me to a blasting cap, and a plan began to form.
Siamo nel continuo spazio-tempo, Giabbe. Minchia, nel continuo spazio-tempo. No, Giabo, che cazzo. Io sono Q, cazzo. Sono Q. Siamo nel continuo spazio-tempo. Ma che cazzo sta succedendo, Sì, no, sì. Corri, Forrest.
The terrain was ferocious. Explosive eruptions of fire and
Vado,
heat,
boom,
thunderous
boom.
emissions and lethal gases.
Much like your cousin Pavel, perhaps, as a result of consuming all of those stolen eggs.
Sono sulla Luna, al centro della Terra, nel continuo spazio-tempo. Sono nella Luna, al centro della Terra, nel continuo spazio-tempo. Cerchio. Wow. Wow. Shishi bim bim boom 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 shishi. Oh mer. Che culo c'è? Oh. Ah, al continuo. Oh. Bravo. Ma che bravo che sono a giocare, però no. Tutto molto facile, ma però. Wow! Si capisce un cazzo. E quindi. Tanto non si capisce come mai. Così. Attenzione.
Agartha again. But why?
You are stalling, comrade. The clock is ticking.
Tick-tock, tick-tock. Of course. In a flash of inspiration, I understood. It was all wrong, you see, General.
That we can agree on.
We should never have gone to the center, because without little Orpheus, Toll could not have become the tyrant he had. The rocket drill was his means to reach the world clock, but it was little Orpheus that enabled him. And the time itself, The world clock itself was determined to make matters right.
With a little help from you, of course.
Merely a simple pawn in a game played upon a cosmic scale, General. But a pawn who understood that he was being given a second chance to grab a chunk of the explosive resin that wondrous city was built upon.
Vabbè ragazzi, andiamo avanti. Cosa succederà? Ecco, vedi, continuo spazio-tempo, ragazzi. È finita, Giambi, ecco qui.
And I was back. The mighty river of time roared past me, carrying the weight of the whole of history with it.
Even for you, this is a stretch.
Vai.
Our time is almost up. I have to submit my report within the hour.
Time, General. Time was nearly up indeed. That ancient and magical river that carried me along was surely moving inevitably towards some kind of end.
Oh merda. Scappa. No. Ecco, vanno su e giù questi qua, quindi devo prendere il tempo giusto perché sennò... Vai Giambi! Sfaccia! Vai Giambi! Ma che caso sto vedendo, raga? Dai, non è possibile sta cosa. Lo sto vedendo. Dove devo andare? Buh, salto. No, ho sbagliato. Oh merda. Il continuo spazio-tempo, sì. Aiuto, aiuto, Giambi, sì. Non ce la faccio. C'è Jumbo però. Capisci dov'è il suolo, dov'è il... Quello sta ancora andando, quello, corri! Non ce la faccio a prenderlo quello. E ora? No, sono in ritardo. Ma cosa sto vedendo, raga? Shi, boom 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 boom, shi.
Enough. No more Privalov. No more stories. No more lost worlds and space dogs. I'm full of it. It is nearly midnight, and you have not given me the adequate explanation for the whereabouts of little Orpheus and the atomic bomb.
But, General, I am about to tell you what happened when I finally caught up with the villain Toll.
I do not care, Tavarish. I simply do not care. You have worn me down, and it is time to call a halt to this. I bear you no malice, comrade. In many ways, I admire you, but time is running out.
Yes, General, yes. Time. Because it was time itself that suddenly appeared to be on my side.
Non capisco che cazzo sta succedendo, comunque ok. Siamo nel continuo spazio-tempo. Che parte devo andare? Di qua?
Perhaps the world clock was so impressed with your egg-wearing antics it decided to return you to Plutonia for a second attempt. I would strongly suggest you cut to the chase.
The chase, yes. The pursuit of Toll and little Orpheus. I stood there with the resin fragment in one hand and the blasting cap in the other, and then, just like that, a clock began to ring.
The world clock?
No, General, an alarm clock. My Slava alarm clock, in fact, given to me by Auntie Marsha.
The one who married the beef investigator.
The very same. And the moment I saw that clock, I knew what I had to do.
Allora, andiamo giù. Però, Eccoci arrivati. E luce fu.
Yes, I'm waiting.
A bomb, General. A bomb to destroy a bomb.
So, you decided to build a bomb, eh? A bomb to destroy little Orpheus.
It was a simple plan, really, General.
Yes, you are very fond of your simple plans.
Che gioco strano però, non...
It was the last time I was to see those poor enslaved men on my journey. As they scurried in agitation around the base of the rocket drill, now a dreadful weapon of war in the hands of a madman, I was reminded of my mother.
Your mother looked like a nymph? That is extremely disrespectful, comrade.
No, I meant I was raised by my mother from an early age, of course. My childhood memories of my father were all too brief.
You are rambling, comrade Privalov. Time is running out. Dieni Rezinovi.
Time will run out for us all, General, will it not? And it ran out for my father on the shores of Volga.
Your father fought at Stalingrad?
He did, General.
So did I.
Well, so you see, General. Perhaps we are just the same, you and I. Perhaps we are all just Menkf in the end.
Ecco. Beh. Hai rotto cazzo. Sì. Si capisce un cazzo. Comunque dai, andiamo avanti.
What possible use in the construction of a bomb could be found in the belly of a giant whale? Were you perhaps planning on using a worm as a fuse?
Qua il verbo che ho ucciso.
That would be ridiculous, General.
I would hate to undermine your otherwise entirely plausible account.
You forget, General. The belly of the beast was full of shipwrecks.
Stiamo tornando
And
indietro.
on one of them, I
Dei
was
livelli.
bound to find what I was looking for. Fuse wire.
Qua il verbo che ho ucciso, Ci ha ucciso, non so se l'ho ucciso. No, forse non l'ho
The
ucciso,
fuse
però...
until I reminded you, hadn't you?
È cappato.
General, your cynicism is unbecoming to a man of your rank and stature.
Ma non ci capisco un cazzo. Lo stesso... Ah, vedi, il conto continuo. Il continuo spazio-tempo. È tutto un fuoco sto gioco. Beh. No. No.
The clock was now ticking, General. Literally. I was surrounded
Oh,
by
i
time,
sottotitoli no.
immersed in it, floating along a river of it on a raft
Minchia.
made of history, seeking the next moment of opportunity to hurtle backwards amongst those lost worlds.
I am a patient man, Tavarish. I lost 3 toes in the winter outside Sharkovskaya in 42. A drunken dentist removed 2 frostbitten toes and 1 perfectly healthy one. You may therefore consider me a man blessed with an uncommon level of endurance for discomfort.
I hate visiting the dentist. My uncle Vanya was a dentist, and he was a deeply strange man.
Ma i sottotitoli vanno e
Notwithstanding the
vengono.
love he
Che
felt for his
cazzo sta
pigs.
Is what?
succedendo?
He was a pig.
Che è successo? Perché sono morto, scusa? Ah, devo andare di là. A di là prima. Ah, devo andare dove? No. Vabbè, ma allora... Minchia. Allora, devo andare di qua, forse devo andare a sinistra, allora qua. Visto che c'è qualcosa. se io vado giù così, no? Facciamo prima. Perché? Ah, vai in figa. Allora, per arrivare là, raga, devo fare un mega saldato. Ma qua c'è questo, io vado di sopra questo. Vai. Andare qua. Dove cazzo sto andando? Già vi secondo te. Tanta fi. Ah, giusto. Oh oh. Oh oh. Se non ce la faccio. Però per un pelo. Corri, Forest. Tutto lento. Corri. Corri, corri. Guarda che velocità assurda. E ora? Sha 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 sha. Sha 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 sha. Shi 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 bu bu. Da che parte? Di qua sarà, no? Oh merda. Eccolo il Dottor Wu.
And so to the ocean floor, and that strange submerged city, and those poor lost vessels. To find a shell case to hold all of my scavenged ingredients, the last piece I needed to construct my bomb.
Ah, yes, I have been waiting for this.
General?
Time, Ivan Ivanovich. Whilst you have rambled on and on about it, I have simply bided mine. I am a patient man, as I have said.
Yes, I don't feel I paid enough attention to the story about your toes. Do you have specially made shoes?
Enough!
Dai.
Now I have your full attention. Indulge me, Tavares. Explain to me how you made this bomb.
General?
Your bomb, comrade, that you so brilliantly constructed to destroy little Orpheus. Tell me how you made it.
Un gioco così strano raramente l'ho giocato. No, ma strano dico nel gameplay proprio, cioè. C'è solo da andare avanti e basta. Vabbè.
Well,
In detail. The type of detail that should present no problem to a man who is actually capable of building a bomb, which I suspect would be an entirely different man to one who cheated on his entrance exams for the cosmonaut program. You are uncharacteristically silent, comrade. Cat, got your tongue?
if I may, General, perhaps just a minute or two to gather my thoughts?
There are precious few minutes left. We have reached our conclusion, I think.
Yes, we have, General. I gazed up at the world clock and knew I had arrived at my destination. Whatever lay inside would see my journey end one way or another. But I had no idea of the marvels that awaited me. And
The bomb, Ivan Ivanovich! Tell me how you built the bomb!
it was a wonderful sight. The world...
It is 2 minutes to midnight, Ivan. It is time to end this story.
È finito anche questo episodio, ragazzi, è pazzesco, eh. C'è quasi più filmato di sigla finale e inizio che gioco. Torno subito, eh. Sì, 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 bom, 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 sì, sì. Sì, 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 bom, bom, sì, 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 sì. Sì, 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 bom, 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 sì, sì. Peccato perché la storia di questo gioco qua non è neanche male, è fatta anche abbastanza bene la storia. È peccato che il gameplay è nullo, cioè, c'è solo da saltare e basta, andare avanti e saltare. Cioè la storia non è neanche male secondo me, cioè è anche curata, devi stare lì a leggere, vabbè chiaramente. Però figa il gameplay, riesci ad andare avanti e saltare, basta, scivolata ogni tanto così, ma giusto per così. Avrei messo un po' più robe, cioè magari no. Vabbè che con quello che ho pagato, raga, cioè, ho pagato 3 euro, Dio, cioè, non è che... Però c'è più sconto 3 euro, se no costerebbe mi sembra 7-8 euro questo gioco qua, mi sembra. No, 10 forse anche. Cioè, voglio dire... Vabbè, capito, però... Io ne avevo fatto uno simile, non del centro della Terra, però comunque simile, diciamo, però era molto più bello. Su PlayStation 3 ancora all'epoca. Almeno sparavi un po', cioè. Comunque ormai lo finiamo perché siamo qua, raga, ormai lo finiamo. Modalità registrazioni perdute ero disponibili, ho capito, però... Cioè tu ti rifai il gioco, però in più c'hai i collezionabili da trovare. Potevano farlo dall'inizio con i collezionabili, no? Almeno dovevi trovare le sfere lì, che cazzo è? Ma dovevano farlo dall'inizio. Siamo per l'ultimo mondo comunque ragazzi, quindi quasi finito, dai. Il pilastro del mondo, episodio 8. Vai.
Let us recap. 3 years ago, you were sent to the center of the Earth as part of a top-secret mission to ensure the delivery of Little Orpheus, an atomic-powered capsule. You promptly vanished until you casually wandered up to Molodiyozhnaya station, 3 years later, claiming to have saved the world, but lost Little Orpheus in the process. Is this correct?
Yes, General, it is, but...
You are charged with many crimes against the state, including desertion, lying to a superior officer, and sedition. Any one of these charges bears the punishment of execution by firing squad.
Allora, ricapitoliamo la storia. Praticamente questo militare qua è stato mandato al centro della Terra per recuperare un ordigno nucleare. E lui dice, sostiene, racconta questa storia qua al suo generale e sostiene di aver salvato il mondo, però ha perso l'ordigno. Quindi vediamo come ha salvato il mondo e come ha perso l'ordigno. Scopo. Ovviamente rischia la fucilazione poi, per diserzione, cazzate varie, puttanate varie. Perché nessuno gli crede,
General,
ovviamente, no?
You must be reasonable. I did my best.
Cioè,
It's all true. I swear upon the lives of my family.
Oh, do you? Auntie Marcia, and Uncle Vanya, the traveling tinker and the pig dentist, or
ovviamente non gli
perhaps
credono,
mother,
perché è
the
una storia
criminal
assurda, no?
mastermind with the unhealthy taste for eggs. How stupid do you think I am, Comrade Pivalov?
E quindi rischia la fucilazione. Ovviamente, no? Vabbè. Ok.
Subdayu, it is all true.
Maybe your toy maker, or was it watchmaker, Faza, who apparently taught you all he knew, despite being killed when you were less than 5 years old.
I was a fast learner?
You have precisely 1 minute to convince me not to summon the guards, and have you shot on the spot.
A minute? A lifetime. It's all I need, General.
Posso dire che la sigla è una delle cose più belle del gioco, forse è la cosa più bella. La musichetta è top. Musichetta e sigla bellissimi. Ok, George. Lurch.
I was astounded. My father, I told you, I think I told you, he was a toy maker, and he often
Suo
played
padre era un
with clockwork
giocattolaio.
parts. But this made all those childhood wonders pale into insignificance. And it was fortunate indeed that my uncle...
Vanya, the pig dentist?
No, my other uncle, Sasha, had taken me mountaineering in the Urals during my childhood.
Ma che
For it was
fuori
only
che
by
sto gioco,
scaling these
bro.
giant mechanical parts that I
fuori
would
che-
reach Little Orpheus.
Yes, I had been thinking that it seems awfully convenient that you were such an accomplished climber. I don't, however, recall any mention of this Uncle Sasha in your file.
He was a very private
He was
man.
a very unlikely man.
That was Uncle Sasha's blessing and his curse.
Vai. Ma cosa cazzo stai vedendo, raga? Dai. Ci sono i pesi, i contrappesi. Wow, GG. Oh, oh, poi è difficile. Wow. Oh, perché non va? Ho capito, dai. C'era bisogno. Minchia. È proprio... capito. Corri. Suo padre era un giocattolaio, eh. Oh merda! Che culo c'ho? No, ma mi sa che...
Those
Vai.
great wheels and cogs clashed and boomed. The vast hands of all time crunching forever and ever around.
Ivan Ivanovich.
Pendulums and springs and great big wheels and tiny little wheels.
Tavarish Privalov, stop.
Though at least the Mengf were not here, especially as they seemed to infest the world below the surface. Mengf everywhere. Mengf. Many Mengf. Mengf aplenty. Mengf.
You're a bambling, comrade. Enough.
Che minchia sto vedendo? Bello però, no? Cioè la grafica è bello, cioè... Oh, mi sa che qua... Cazzo ho visto, raga. Wow. No, non sbagliare, non salta, raga, non salta. Corre. Non so. Ho capito. Dici che c'è... Oh, shishi, boom, 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 boom. Una prospettiva pazzesca. No, ma è difficile però, perché... Non è messo dritto giusto la telecamera, eh. Come on. Madonna, che salti sto facendo, raga, davvero. No, non è difficile, però, nel senso... Non è che sia difficile, però...
But where was Toll? Aha! High above. On the clock face, perhaps. With his radios and his crystals.
Madonna!
Just reach him.
Cazziato come un coglione.
Where was Toll? Aha! High above. On the clock face, perhaps. With his
Corri, Vareste! Sì! Madonna,
I could use the bomb.
There is no bomb. You have no idea how to make a bomb. You have no idea about how to do anything one might actually expect of a cosmonaut.
The bomb?
Ivan Ivanovich! Time is up.
Ci vogliono fucilare, Giabbe!
Stop talking, Tavarish. You don't know what happens next. It is obvious. You've done very well. I applaud you for your efforts and your story. It is a wonderful tale, Comrade Privalov. I have enjoyed it immensely. But every story needs an ending. And it is clear yours does not have one.
just need more time.
I think that even if I gave you all the time in the world, it would not be enough.
No, General. I can do this. That is, I remember what happens next. I just need to catch my breath and compose myself.
We both know how this story ends, comrade.
But little Orpheus, you haven't heard what happened.
We will find out soon enough. You will be executed, and another expedition will be sent.
No, you cannot. You cannot. We must never go back. You don't understand.
Vogliono fucilare, Vabbè, una storia un po' assurda, effettivamente. Cioè, è abbastanza assurda, no?
Make me, then. Make me understand. I am a kind man, although you may not believe this. I do not want to have you shot. So help me. Make me understand. Tell me what happened to little Orpheus.
Cosa è successo? Sta bomba atomica nucleare, che cazzo è successo? Dove l'ha messa? Ivan.
It was...
Ivan Ivanovich?
It was... it was... No. I'm sorry, General. I'm sorry, I have no idea. You are right. I simply cannot think what happened next. It's just... a blank, General. There's nothing there. I am very tired, you see.
Comrade Privanov. Ivan.
You're right. It's over, General. Perhaps you would be so kind as to write to my mother for me.
Of course I will.
You are a kind man, as you have said. And, General...
Yes, Ivan.
Was it a good story?
Oh, yes. It was an excellent story.
Thank you, General. I'm just sorry I couldn't give you an ending.
Unless...
General?
Anche se...
Tovarish, I am thinking... Unless... I seem to remember that there were many problems with little Orpheus during production.
General?
Problems with the casing around the atomic battery. Concerns.
Concerns, General?
Yes, concerns. Unlikely though that might be. Yeah, it seems if I remember that it failed to secure properly. A sharp blow could spring the hatch and expose the fragile casing of the bomb to any would-be vandal.
I'm not sure I follow.
A resourceful yet forgetful hero might, one would think, take advantage of that fact.
But how, General? Where would I find something to strike it with?
The son of a watchmaker would easily find something within a giant clock mechanism that resembled a hammer, surely.
A hammer? Why, yes, General. I do remember now. I grasped the hammer-shaped thingamabob.
Let's just agree it was a hammer, Ivan.
Yes, of course. Let's do that. I recovered my senses, shook my head, and looked about me. In my distracted stupor, I had climbed further up the tower than I ever thought possible. In front of me was the clock face, and I gazed out through it at the sheer expanse of history. And I knew whatever happened next... happened next?
The hand of destiny had fallen upon your shoulder.
Yes, it had. And what an extraordinary hand it was.
Oddio! Oddio! Che succede? È Thor questo, che cazzo vuole? Ma corri alla mena! Ma cosa cazzo sto vedendo, raga? Oddio! Oddio! Yes, boom boom! Ah, no, 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 no! Le pele! Cazzo sto vedendo, Giabbe, aiuta! Oddio! No, no, no! No, 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 no! Aiuta! Aiuta! Aiuto! Perché sono morto, scusa? Sono morto. Aiuto! 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 Sono morto ancora. Non so che cazzo devo fare lì. Vediamo, Vediamo un po', ragazzi. Ho capito, però. E luce fu.
And so, Thor was defeated.
Thor fu sconfitto.
Little Orpheus destroyed. The bomb lost forever.
Not just that, General. In that moment, time sprung back to its proper shape, and I found myself once more in Plutonia, as the start of my journey. But the wound in the interior sky was gone. The drill was gone. It was as if I had never been here. And they were nymph, free and happy, without the tyranny of toll, free to pursue their simple lives.
But we can never go back?
Never, General. One drill, one metal sphere, one lone cosmonaut was nearly enough to destroy time and unleash the tyrant toll upon our world. Who would think an innocuous beeping radio housed in a ball of metal could change the world so dramatically?
Who indeed? But tell me, what of you? And what of your return to the surface?
I stayed amongst the Mienk for as long as I could. But I came to realize they had begun to worship me as a king. No, General. I am a good socialist.
Hanno fatto la statua,
I could not
hanno
allow
fatto.
this workers' paradise to
Pazzesco.
become corrupted. And so I left that wonderful land for the last time.
And then?
And then I walked. For 2 years I wandered, always looking for a way home, through lands and worlds almost beyond imagination. Until one day I emerged, blinking into sunlight, and realized I was home.
Until one day I emerged? Just like that? You just found your way back to the surface?
Well, General, it was a little more complicated than that. There were great obstacles to overcome, and terrible challenges to face, and incredible lands to explore.
Enough. Little Orpheus is lost forever. The interior is sealed. You have returned with a story of socialism, triumphing over incredible odds. It is, as I said, enough for one night. Enough for my report, at least.
General, if I may...
Comrade Ivan Ivanovich Privalov, you are found guilty of all charges brought against you and sentenced to execution by firing squad.
Ma come?
However, having listened to your story, I
Dice
believe
pazzo.
you are quite mad. In other words, I find your madness guilty, not you. And we cannot execute madness. And indeed, there are lessons to be learned, even in the depths of this madness. Perhaps the Americans were right to send a chimp after all.
So, General?
Get out of my sight, Ivan. Go home. Enjoy a state pension as a madman. Just make sure I never see you again.
Yes, General. Of course, General. Anything you say. I shall be small and quiet and live a life without excitement and...
Out! Until one day I just emerged. Oh, very good, Tavarish. Very good indeed.
E quindi è completato anche il penultimo episodio, ma c'è un ultimo episodio, ragazzi, attenzione, Sarebbe finito così il gioco, però qualcosa mi dice che ne vedremo ancora qualche delle belle, qualcosa. Shi boom boom shi. Beh, vediamo che succede, raga, Bianco e nero. Minchia laica. Basta un poco di cipolla e lo smog va giù. Questa qua è una citazione. Pillola va giù, la canzone quella là. Ma è italiana quella canzone là, però. La pillola va giù. Basta un poco di cipolla e lo smog va giù. Oh, facciamo episodio bonus. Ah, episodio bonus questo qua. Facciamolo, vai. Oltre l'oltre è un po' più in là.
Who's the best space dog? Oh, где моя хорошая, хорошенькая моя, ты просто космическая. Hey, who's the best hairy cosmonaut?
Sono salito
It
di
is
livello.
indeed a lovely sunset, and it reminds me of the skies of Peru. I didn't? I never told you about the wonderful Sky City? Well, it was an extraordinary place, but one filled with dangers. Well, it might have been simple for you to cross it, but you were in a space capsule. I had to rely on my own 2 feet, my
Perché voglio un cane così?
feet which, I might add, had just crossed the interior, beaten the villain Toll, and helped inspire the Mienk to a workers' revolution. Oh, that's all very easy for you to say, but your idea of civilized behavior is licking your own bottom in public. No. My adventures above the clouds were filled with untold dangers, death-defying escapes, and some really quite extraordinarily large Bielorybitsa. And it happened like this.
Episodio 9.
Weeks had passed since I left Plutonia, and one evening, exhausted, I simply fell asleep at the foot of a strange windmill. And when I awoke, well, that thought didn't cross my mind. I was exhausted after all. This is beside the point, my nosy canine friend. What matters is this. When I awoke, the windmill and the ground around it had been carried high into the air. What magic was this? Что за магия? As unlikely, perhaps, as a suitcase-sized dog orbiting the center of the Earth for many years. Quite.
Vabbè, vediamo che succede.
Quick as a flash, Kakmonia, my training leapt into play, and I began to paddle the strange contraption through the clouds in search of answers. It is entirely possible that a miller who owns a windmill capable of levitating high into the air may also own a flying machine. Oh, now you're just being silly. May I continue my recounting of how I sailed over the sky gardens towards the mystical city of Peru? Oh, I must, my moju shatidrug. I must.
Cazzo è... Bioshock Infinity? Sembra un po'. Mi butto. Oh, che bella. Sembra un po' Bioshock Infinity, eh? Shi boom boom shi. Oh, che bella.
What powerful emanations! What mighty gusts! What an epic squall! They reminded me of Cousin Pavel, yes! But whereas his rearward zephyrs could curdle milk and tarnish the teaspoons, these magical wafts only serve to carry me aloft and onwards.
Bello però, no? Così? Va bene così? Devo anche fare verso il basso. Vabbè.
But something was afoot in the gardens of Perun. This horrid muck, staining the surfaces and making my nose curl. Yes, it was positively Pavelian in scent. But it did not belong here. I think I once told you of Auntie Masha's passionate encounter in a cable car with the manganese entrepreneur from Chiatura. Now, Auntie Masha told me that there was a disagreeable stain and smell all around those factories and smelting works. Our industry is not without its dangers. Could it be that the once bucolic gardens of Perun were being corrupted by unchecked pollution? After all, science is a double-edged sword, my bristly confidant. Consider Zemikov. Of course. I apologize. Proшу прощения. Two-headed dogs is perhaps a rather insensitive analogy, but not without justification in this instance. I have seen the blemished lands around Norilsk, but I could not believe that I would find such pollution here. But this was nothing to the true horror of what was shortly to unfold.
Cosa che devo fare qua? Lascia il basso. Sto vedendo, raga.
That terrible Strashnaya machina spewing its poison into the air had created a monstrous thing. A being. A malignant spoiler of the noble and pure, and it had taken on the form of its prey. Well, of course. No, конечно, I was the prey. The citizens of Perun had clearly long since fled the evilly sentient smog, but I inadvertently wandered into its lair. Oh, I know. Misfortune seemed to dog... Oh, sorry, I do apologize. To follow my every footstep. But no time to ponder, no time to bemoan the hand that fate had dealt me. No, all that was on my mind was escape, конечно.
Quindi... Lo dicono.
Yes, it was most interesting. The windmill seemed to be from an earlier age. Perhaps this was a devastating warning of the destructive power of unfettered industrialization. I most certainly had not forgotten about the windmills. I did not get carried away. You are missing the point. Perhaps because you are only a small dog. Oh, a brilliant, brave, spacefaring dog, of course, but a small Sabashka nonetheless. If you perhaps listened more and interrupted less, I am just getting to the explanation of the windmills.
Insomma, io ora... boh, raga, non si capisce che cazzo stanno facendo. Eccolo!
My stinky nemesis was back. But more interesting was the change in the city. The windmills were fading out, clearly obsoleted, mothballed, relics. Instead, a sense of an obsession with power was apparent. Vast engines, terrible machines, ever hungry and reliant on the rapid consumption of fuel, the production of toxic fumes and choking gases. Pride, my pushisti compadre, pride, ambitia, ambition, the dark side of science. Zemechov's had too many. Don't be ridiculous, dog. Only a Durak with the intellectual capacity of a ringworm would think windmills are in any way harmful.
Vabbè. Madre Russia. Ma tu mi sa che mi serve, no? Vediamo una fabbrica che butta fuori del fumo, là. Bello anche, devo dire bello. Wow, vai. Deve essere morto giusto perché, vabbè. Diceti però. Cazzo. Minchia. Shi boom 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 shi. E ora?
Of course, you never had much of a chance to travel. Sarcasm doesn't suit you. You don't have the tail for it. You do, at least, have a tail. Mind you, family gossip maintains that so did Uncle Rabliem. Although it was apparently little more than a stub, and a source of considerable discomfort and social anxiety for him. The question of whether or not Uncle Rabliem wagged his stub is very much off topic. What I am trying to say is that your upbringing on the streets of Moscow meant you never saw the blackened fields of Magnitogorsk. The sacrifices made by the valiant citizens of that industrial hub, as they drowned in their own blight, even as they powered the state forwards. I was reminded of Magnitogorsk as I wandered through those fields of pipes and foundries. And I wept for the loss of innocence that so often goes hand in hand
Bella
with
storia.
progress.
E quindi dura sto livello, è quello che dura di più di tutti finora, mi sa, è bello lunghetto, però ormai penso che ci siamo. Eccoci. Ecco la Nemesi. Sono ferito, raga. Resta da bebelle.
Indeed. I just evaded the slimy, oily grasp of that man-made vaginoi, his petroleum stink clogging my nostrils and making my head thump. And I felt a great stirring within me. Yes, much like I assume Cousin Pavel. May he never get loose again. But no, quite different. This was no volcanic upbubbling of gastric malintent. No, it was the roaring fires of justice once more ignited within me. I felt a swell of patriotic fervor and knew the hand of destiny had fallen on me once more. Yes, what a hand it was! I could not see this great wonder sink into an abyss of poison and bile. The Perunians may have been forced to abandon their city, but I had saved the world once before and was ready to answer the call again.
Non è ancora finito, è pazzesco, raga. Che cazzo dura sto gioco? Saliamo, sì che ci siamo mai, guarda. Sì, bum 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 bum. Sì. Pochino, questo episodio è bello tosto,
What strange metal Bielaribitsa, clearly designed to swim through the air. I was amazed. And there was more. Beneath the fins, I spotted the apertures of hoses and was reminded of the time Auntie Agrafina devised a contraption to water all of her copious algae beds simultaneously with one flush of the toilet by a system of pipes and valves that ran throughout her house. Можно так сказать, in a manner of speaking, yes. Her algae were most irrigated, although her neighbor Victor was washing his trousers in the sink at the time and was bruised quite severely about the face and body. But these were no ordinary flying metal fish. They were designed to expel air, fresh air, and push back the polluted clouds.
Questo arriva qua, ragazzi, secondo me è l'arrivo del finale del gioco. Dai, vai. No, penso di no. È una bella riva però, Quindi...
There is, of course, a fine tradition of looking to nature to solve problems of a scientific or military persuasion. Yes, as you well know. My nephew, Sergei... Yes, the very same. Poor lad with his dermatological eruptions. Well, Sergei was stationed recently at Kazachya Bukhta, where dolphins... dolphins? Were being trained as brilliant aquatic agents of socialism. Why not then be inspired by marine life? Why, there is a fish, I have heard, that can shoot jets of water from beneath the surface to knock its prey off little tiny twigs and into its mouth. If you were to tell the average mushroom sheriff that a dog would orbit the Earth, I suspect you would receive a similarly sneering response. No, that is because you are a small, hairy hound of uncertain parentage. I, on the other hand, am a cosmonaut, the product of many months of training, and I realized the answer to pollution was here all along. The Peronians, tragically, had simply never had time to finish their fleet. If only I could find a working, flying fish. If only. If only. Yes. If only.
Madonna ragazzi, che
It
lungo
made
sto.
perfect sense, of course. The poisonous duhatas that engulfed Baroon was like a nasty cold. And to know what to do with a cold to rid yourself of it. You may not get colds, but nor can you operate pea-shelling machinery. So, don't get ideas above your station. We humans, on the other hand, may produce up to 16 million perfectly unshelled peas in an average shift. But we are martyrs to our sinuses. But to clear them, aha! These are remedies we Russians have been perfecting over the long centuries of harsh winters. Onions. A quick snifter of onion oil will clear your head faster than a Pragviev can clear a hypothetical minefield. Yes, if I could find a functional fish, I would become that onion.
Devo cadere un po', Boh. Non so ragazzi, tutto strano. Vado, Oh merda. Vai. Corri.
Close. I could feel it. Yes, the working fish, the ribka. I could feel I was at the heart of Baroon, and my noxious pursuer had renewed its chase with a terrible vigor.
What's up? Sto minando,
Not far now. I just had to keep going, keep pushing.
Pusha,
It's
pusha.
almost as if you knew, Pavel.
Pusha, pusha.
Обалдеть. There she was. A beautiful sight. Her scales shimmering in the sunlight, her fins poised for action, her onion cannons primed for a great aerial conflict unseen in the annals of human endeavor. And you are just jealous it was a bigger flying machine than yours. No, Bilious Powell. It was time for science to fight back. Yes, my hairy compatriot. Viaggio! Onwards to victory!
Vero, eh? Oh. Sì. Colpito, raga. Io devo colpirlo questo. No, mi ha ucciso, porca puttana. Non è facilissimo, raga, eh. No, ho colpito, raga, non ci credo. Mi comando un po' così. Minchia, non l'ho visto, raga, cioè. Ho capito, vabbè. Se si colpisce il raggio muoio diretto, eh. Ho capito. No. No, che cazzo è successo, raga? Dai, vai in figa. Dall'inizio ogni volta, mi ricordo.
was a miracle. I found myself swooping through beautiful clear skies, the strange interior sunlight gleaming on the sides of my fishy vessel. I heard birds clear their little throats and begin their wondrous gvalt, the wind gently humming on the fins. And then, all of a sudden, under it all, well, you see, in my hurry, it didn't even occur to me to check how much fuel was carried in the strange craft. The horrible splutter, the engines choked and died. And suddenly we were plummeting downwards towards our doom. I did not. A simple mistake that many have made. Why, my Aunt Agrafina met her untimely demise being late for a fungal sculpting seminar and making exactly the same error. Only, unfortunately, it left her stranded in sub-zero temperatures just outside Pravachitsinsk. She wasn't found until 18 years after her own funeral, but was perfectly preserved. Remarkable, really. It is beside the point, yes. So, there I was. My fabulous ship had become a terrible prison. I was hurtling to my almost certain death. My triumph turned to tragedy. But then... well, you know what happened next. Even so, moi magnati drug, that is a story for another time. A most extraordinary story, of course, filled with dangers and wonders, and canals, and invasions, and strange doorways to other worlds. But perhaps too long a story for now. Yes, indeed, my canine tavarish. Time for soup. Auntie Agrafina's famous borscht. Coming?
Ragazzi, finito
I
che...
think you really did have a happier time in Peru. The benefits of being a suitcase-sized dog in a little
Finito che...
space machine.
Episodio extra.
Yes, the correct term is indeed capsule, as I told the general once. Why, a letter just the other week. He's thinking of retiring, he says. Yes, and moving to Bashkiria to nurture bees. Bees? Surprised me too.
Vabbè, pensavo meglio come gioco, però vabbè dai, la storia non è malvagia, però pensavo più bello, essere onesto,
The bees he is thinking of are particularly militaristic. Or stingy, yes. Did you want bread with your soup? In which case, there's half a tin of old beef you could also finish. Somewhat grey, but I'm sure it won't taste awful. Yes, my four-legged associate. Now, did I ever tell you the story of when Uncle Rablien got his stub ensnared in the seat of a wicker chair in the finest fish restaurant in the whole of Kalyatsia?
vabbè. E niente ragazzi, abbiamo finito e quindi abbiamo finito, ci sarebbe così, ma non sì, anche io se farli. Quindi finiamo qua. Va bene, grazie per la compagnia ragazzi, ci vediamo domani, buonanotte.